Hello, my name is John White, and I live in Burien, Washington, in a neighborhood called Seahurst. And we have a park in our neighborhood called Eagle Landing Park. And there are some big decisions being made as to whether or not to tear out a staircase that leads to the beach. This video is just to inform the city council members and the citizens of Burien that I think the stairs can be saved. And so let's go take a look so that we can see what's actually going on.
I'm White, and I'm at Eagle Landing Park at the top of the stairs. It's January 21st, and I wanted to point out to you this geological action which describes slope creep and what's going on this slope, but I want you to pay attention to this. See right here where it says all of these considerations, this staircase was specifically designed and engineered with the geology and slope in mind.
Okay, let me just jump in here for a second and explain what they mean by the staircases being engineered to handle slope creep. These piers that are supporting the stairs are on driven piles. They're called pin piles, and a pile driver drove those into the ground, dozens and dozens of them, before they poured the concrete. So these piers are sitting on pin piles. And by the way, those pin piles are galvanized. So we're talking about a structure that would last more than 100 years.
Let's talk about expenses. Take a look here. You see this fence that is keeping people from going down the stairs? Let me just show you something here. They are on rent. They are on rent. The city is paying this statewide rent offense, and it's been paying for years, and it's costing thousands of dollars to do what? Because all I have to do is walk like this and go around and walk down here like this, like everybody's done, trampling over soil and plants and causing erosion, human erosion. If there's any erosion here, it's caused by humans. And see this? Then you just jump over and now you're on the stairs. So why are we paying thousands and thousands of dollars for that fence? It's ridiculous. Now let me show you the rest of what's going on down here. Okay, I just walked down the second pier. The first pier, there's no erosion damage, nothing. I'm now on the second pier, and there is no erosion damage. There's graffiti, but there's no erosion damage. So everything's good so far. Let's keep walking.
Okay, let me just jump in here before we continue. And keep in mind that currently the City of Burien website says that they started the demolition of this staircase in the fall of 22. We're in January of 2023 and nothing has been done. So don't take the attitude by reading the city website that somehow this staircase can't be saved because they've already started tearing it down. They haven't started tearing it down, and so there's still a chance that we can save it. Let's go on. Okay, I better step in here and just remind people that just because I said that the city website says that they started tearing the stairs down in 2022, and when you go down there, they haven't started tearing the stairs down yet. Well, the notice on the city website could be accurate, meaning that they have started to look at and start considering ways to tear it down. What I mean is that they haven't physically done anything yet. So I don't want people that are watching this to think that I'm being critical of the city. I'm very happy, quite frankly, with what the city's done by plumbing the storm drain to the beach and getting the water off of this staircase and off Eagle Landing Park. So I'm not hostile to the city. Let's move on.
Okay, I'm now on the third pier, and obviously there's no erosion here. So this pier is still sitting on pin piles and is perfectly safe as the day it was installed. Okay, now we're going to go to the fourth pier. Okay, I'm on the 4th pier. I'm jumping on it. It's on pin piles. There's no erosion whatsoever. All right, now let's walk down to what would be, let's see, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is number 5. Okay, we're walking down here. So far, everything is as good as the day it was installed, right? Okay, let's take a look. No erosion, no damage. Let's go down to number 6. No damage, nothing. Now, if you were inspecting this at this point, you would be like, what are these guys talking about? This thing looks as good as the day it was installed. Let's go to 7. All right, here we are. We'll go down to 7. No erosion. No erosion damage. I'm jumping up and down on it. You could put a excavator on top of this. This thing is sitting on many, many pin piles and isn't going anywhere. Okay, let's go down to pier number 8. Okay, here's pier number 8. No erosion. As good as the day is long. I'm more than halfway down now. I can really see a lot here. I can see Vashon Island. I can see the shore. I'm already a little bit exercised. Let's go down to pier 9. Okay, here we go. Now we're at pier 9. Okay, this pier is definitely damaged by erosion. You can see that. This pier has to be fixed. It has to be straightened. And part of the reason why it's pitching is because a monstrous tree fell over due to the runoff of the storm drain that's no longer there and damaged this section right here. So this pier, pier number 9, has to have some work done to it. It's still sitting on its pin piles, but it's being tremendously side-loaded by this tree.
Let's just talk about this tree. That tree fell on that staircase many years ago now, well before the installation of the storm drain pipe to the beach. Since that drain has been installed, not a twig or a tree has fallen. I live right next door. I'm 45 feet from this staircase, my property line. And I used to hear the trees falling. There hasn't been a twig or a tree fall since that storm drain has been put in.
And these stairs, by the way, are all made and designed to be disassembled and carried by one person, one man. So somebody's going to have to disassemble this, take it up and straighten it out, which is not that big of a deal. It could be done in a day. As I'm walking up this thing, I'm enjoying the exercise, but I'm looking at the past slide. The past slide is completely covered up, and if you're not an expert, you wouldn't even know that that was a slide. That slide was caused by the water from the storm drain. Why are there no more slides? Because the storm drain is plumbed to the beach. Graffiti art. I happen to support graffiti art, and I've donated lots of money to Sam Sneak, a pretty well-known Burien graffiti artist. But graffiti sends a message. You see the graffiti here. There was no graffiti here when these stairs were being used because they were self-policed by the fact that people were walking on them. There was never any graffiti on here before this happened. As I walk up here, I remember when these stairs were open, and I wanted to share with you that when I would walk by somebody, at first I was a little reluctant and didn't know whether I was safe or not. But they would go down, walk up, and then I'd come down and I would pass them again, and we'd both be huffing and puffing, which means we have something in common, and we'd say hello. And then we'd walk down and up again, and it was more than a hello. It was almost a friendship. You could go from a random visit to a visitor to friendship in the course of one exercise on these stairs. Where else in the world anywhere that you walk can that happen. Stairs are unique and they provide benefits that you can't even imagine until you experience it. Do you see the slight erosion around this pier right here? What do you think caused that? Water runoff from the storm drain caused that. If that storm drain had never been there, this pier right here, that concrete on the outside would still be in the dirt. But don't think that that's compromised, because this staircase is not sitting on concrete on the ground. Inside this concrete pier is many piles that have been driven down. This thing is supported by piles. It is not supported by the dirt. So this means nothing with regards to the stability. And because the pin piles were galvanized, it doesn't even hurt the fact that they're exposed to the air. Because if they're galvanized, which they already anticipated that this would happen, they made sure that the pipes were galvanized so they wouldn't be harmed if they did get exposed to the air. When I say that these stairs are segmented, just take a look. You see that? They're bolted together. Everything is bolted together. The rails. And when you remove the bolts, even the stairs are bolted there. One man can carry it. That's how the whole thing was built. It's something that two men can build rather easily.
Okay, the point that I'm making here is that if you look down on the staircase between 9 and 10, a tree has fallen on it and damaged it. And it might look like a lot of work, but it's not a lot of work. It doesn't take very long with a crescent wrench and a couple of simple tools to go down there and disassemble that damaged staircase. And what do you do with it? You don't throw it away. You just take it to a fabricator that can straighten it out and fix it. And if there's any damaged parts, it's all small parts that have been bolted together. So the cost to fix that is minuscule. I'm talking almost nothing. In closing of this video, my proposal is to just keep the stairs that are great and not tear them out, because there's absolutely no reason to tear them out. And to spend $750,000 of city money to do so is foolish. But also, there is a possibility that we can even go further and restore our beach access. I mean, if you walk down there right now, what's happening? People are going down the stairs and then they're slipping down that last pier and walking to the beach anyway. And that path that they're walking on, you would think that the city made that path. It's just about as stable as the path that you take to walk down to the stairs. And for someone that doesn't know what's going on, they might have thought that the city had already made that dirt path to the beach. So it's not a huge, difficult thing to restore beach access, but I'm advocating that we just repair the minor damage to the stairs that we have and save them and save the city $750,000 in the process. Thank you for watching the video. I have tried to contact city council members and ask them to walk down with me and see what I see. I've been watching it for 10 years now. So, and I'm an expert in pile foundations, and I've been reading geotechnical soil reports for over 40 years. So I know what I'm looking at. And I have pledged to finance whatever repairs need to be done on my own nickel and with other friends that are willing to donate. And I'm talking about contractors that I work with every day. So this is a win-win. Let's forget about the political stuff of the past and let's just do what's right. I know it's a hard decision, and I don't think that anyone on the city council should do an upvote without going down there and walking down there themselves. That's why I created this video, so that you could kind of get an idea that it would be worth the walk. And you might find out that when you walk those stairs, something magic happens, because I guarantee you, it will. Thank you. In closing, I would like to encourage the city council not to spend $750,000 on a staircase that is in perfectly good shape. Remember, we spent nearly $1 million building that staircase. Now, if you don't want to have access to the beach, and fine, you don't have to have access to the beach, even though it's already there. And it looks like the path that the public has made was actually made by the Parks Department. But I encourage you to not tear down the stairs. More importantly, if you don't trust me, I've been in the foundation business for 45 years, but if you don't want to trust me, then I've agreed to hire Landau and Associates, the premier geotechnical firm in Seattle. And keep in mind, Landau and Associates has already looked at those stairs, and they've looked at my property. My property is only 45 feet away, and I've spent $500,000 on actual geotechnical reports. I'm not talking about memos. I'm talking about drill rigs coming out and drilling down into the soil to determine what the soil is like, real soils reports. And I pledge to you that those stairs are stable, and you can see for yourself, but I give you my word that I will use all of my volunteer efforts to help you make that decision. Please, let's save these stairs. Thank you.